All right, joining me now, Nick Hardy, former Illini golfer, currently on the PGA Tour. He is currently in an airport right now, so we'll see how this goes. But traveling from Mexico, where he's coming off of a T21 finish. So good weekend for Nick. He has played in 5 tournaments this year, made the cut in all 5, currently 36th in the FedEx Cup standings. Playing pretty well, Nick, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been a solid start to the year, and it's nice to get off to a good start. That's for sure.
What was working in Mexico? I know you almost set a PGA Tour record, right? Something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
in the final round I made 8 birdies, 8 consecutive birdies, one short of a PGA Tour record, and yeah, it was a fun stretch there. I mean, I felt like golf was super easy. So whenever that happens, those rare times, you gotta take advantage and have fun.
Yeah, what's that like? I mean, the average golfer, like most, maybe lucky to get one birdie. So to get 8 in a
Yeah.
row, are you like, are you actually feeling different, or are things just kind of going your
Um,
way?
I'm just in a high state of focus. Honestly, there's no difference. It's just I'm very focused and I'm very unemotional. I'm very unattached to the results. I'm just kind of in the flow of like what I'm trying to do. I'm seeing what I want, and I'm really just going for it. That's basically all there is to it. And combine that with a high focus level, and I think that those things can happen.
Yeah, and I feel like that might be kind of a microcosm where your game's at right now. I said you made 5 straight cuts. You ended last year very strong. Currently, your best official world golf ranking of your career so far. Just how much confidence do you have in yourself right now? A couple years you've been grinding to get to this point, and you're finally starting to get where you want to be.
Yeah, it's fun. I've really enjoyed the journey ever since I turned pro like 4.5 years ago. I think I'm definitely at a point where my game is the best it's ever been, and I feel like I'm just kind of scratching the surface. I think of what I can do on the PGA Tour. I think my goals are very high. I'd say my standards of myself are very high. They always have been, and just combining my progress with what I've been learning through this journey and like learning on the PGA Tour. I think it's gotten me showing the growth a little bit.
Yeah, last year you had some injuries early, if I believe, right?
I did. I played poorly and then I was injured. So those two combinations are not a good combo for recipe
Yeah.
for good golf. So it was a tough start to the year, but I prevailed and just I weathered the storm and I got on a nice little run in the summer.
Yeah, let's talk about that U.S. Open. T14 at the U.S. Open in contention right there on Sunday. What was that like for you with some of the biggest names in golf? And I think you might have had the lead or a tie for the lead late in the tournament.
Yeah, I was 2 shots back with about 12 holes to go. So I was right there on Sunday, and it was definitely a new experience for me. I've never been in contention on a Sunday at a major. That was something else. So I mean, it was an experience that I'll never forget, just because I learned so much. There's so much involved in that experience, just the craziness. And handling that is something new to me, and it's definitely an experience I kind of have taken off on and kind of bounced off of, I would say.
What was that environment like? Just the country club, so much
Yeah,
prestige. Fitzpatrick doing what he's doing.
yeah.
What was the environment like in the feel on the course?
It was extremely loud. The fans were great in Boston. It was just a great venue for a U.S. Open. The USGA did a fantastic job setting up the course. I think the course was amazing. It was a tough but fair challenge, and it was perfect. It was perfect for a U.S. Open, and it was the fourth one I played, and I would say, yeah, it was right up there for all four. I mean, I think in terms of the venue and the tournament, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun to watch on TV for sure. To end the year though, I think were you the first one out of the playoff or something like that? One of the first 5 out of the FedEx or something.
Yeah, I ended up being with the last list. I ended up losing my 126th by point six
Yeah,
points. So less than a point I missed out on. Yeah.
yeah. How does that play into this year? Is there some motivation this year?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I earned my card back through actually two different ways. I earned it back through the Corn Ferry Finals, and then I had some
Mhm.
medical starts left over because I was injured. So they gave me some medical starts, and I earned my medical in my first event. So I'm in the
Yeah.
major medical category the rest of the year, which is solid. It's good, and it definitely gives me motivation. I mean, I have a lot to prove.
Mhm. That you touched on the Corn Ferry. That's where I wanted to go next. What is that grind like on the Corn Ferry to get to the PGA Tour? Because I'm not sure many casual golf fans know or understand the Corn Ferry, but it's the
Yeah,
same as the PGA. Just
yeah,
it's all those guys
yeah.
trying to get to the PGA.
Yeah. There's a lot of motivated young guys, and there's also a lot of combination of great established veteran players that may have
Yep.
found their way back down to the Corn Ferry Tour. It's like AAA in baseball. It's highly competitive, and I would say there's a lot of hungry guys that want to make it to the big leagues and play in the PGA Tour. I think it's a really it's a great tour, first of all, and definitely I had 2 year season out there that helped shape and get me started in learning how to be a professional. Really,
Yeah. Is it harder to get your tour card or to keep your tour card?
it's hard to quantify. Both are very hard. In a one season, 25 event stretch, I think it does get the top best players for a given season, but it really helps to win a tournament and to get those points for a win. Um, but yeah, I think both are difficult. I think if you kind of learn how to be a professional and learn how to take personal responsibility and learn how to um, control the uncontrollable, control everything around you or whatever, control your space. I think you can zip right through the Corn Ferry Tour because there are so many talented guys on the
Yeah.
Corn Ferry Tour. I would just say that the PGA Tour, there's a lot of guys that are very elite in what they do in preparation off the course.
Yeah. Um, how much has this might be worded wrong? How much has life changed for you since you left Illinois?
Yeah, it's weird. I actually look back on it and I'm like, wow, it's. I've now spent the same amount of time having left Illinois as I was at Illinois. So it's just crazy that that time has flown by.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, life has changed a little bit. I definitely, I'm engaged and I have lived in one spot in Arizona for 4 years. Now I'm about to live in Florida. So it's, life's changing a little bit, but for me, things that I do in terms of my preparation and my daily routines, they really haven't changed much besides
Yeah.
on having to do schoolwork.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like
Yeah.
golf's that way. You have your thing, and no matter where
Yep.
you're at, that's what you do. More on Illinois though. You got Thomas Dietrich tearing it up with you on the tour most weekends,
Hmm.
right? He's playing very well, and
Oh yeah.
then Thomas Peters also comes and goes from Europe and
Yep.
and the States. What's it like having those guys and maybe pushing for some more Illinois guys getting
Yeah.
on the tour?
It's amazing. It's super cool. I know Thomas Peters has crushed it over in Europe, and his world ranking is very high. And yeah, I played with him at the U.S. Open practice rounds, and Coach Small was there, which was amazing and special. And then Dietrich, having Dietrich full time on the PGA Tour is incredibly special. He was obviously my teammate, so I wasn't teammates with Peters, but I was teammates with
Right.
Dietrich for 2 years. So having him out there, it just feels like old times. We compete on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays with each other, and it really helps me prepare for the week, and it just helps me have fun. And I know he has fun too, I think. And no, it's amazing. It's actually really beneficial for us both that we're both out there. We're super competitive with each other.
Yeah, I think he came back to campus before I left TV. He came back to campus, and me and Brett Barons were talking to him and kind of joking with him because he never wore a hat at U of I, but now he
Yeah,
wears the hat, and he's because it's like the sponsorship. He's like, I got to, right?
yeah, he's forced to now. Well, if he wants some money, he's forced to. That's for sure.
Yeah. You kind of touched on it here. What are the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday like of a tour event for you guys? You know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Mhm.
Sunday is your game time. What are the week or the days leading up? Is there downtime or is it all like, hey, I got to get prepared for this next event?
Yeah, so I mean, you actually got a lot to manage on any given week, and if you're making a lot of cuts in a row and playing a lot of events in a row, it can be taxing energy wise. So you really got to manage rest, and you got to travel on Mondays, and then you got to manage rest, learn a new golf course, get ready on the new grasses, and just in your surroundings and get your body right. There's so much to do on Monday through Wednesday that goes behind the scenes. And so, yeah, managing all that is definitely a process, but I think we have our routines in place that really help. And once you get kind of settled on a routine and know what works best for you, that's when you kind of really succeed.
Yeah, for sure. I got one more question, and then I want to do some quick hitters while we end here. What's your take on the direction of golf right now with the two different tours and kind of competing with each other? Is it good? Is it bad for the sport? Where do you think golf is heading?
I think I've had my takes on live for sure. I don't think it's great for the game of golf that it may be in the hands of live.
Mm-hmm.
With obviously with their power with the money is a big draw for a lot of players, and I really can't blame a lot of players for taking the money and doing it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the game of golf is better in a meritocracy, and I think the PGA Tour has history in meritocracy, and I think that means a lot in the game of golf, and it means a lot to me. I'm a fan of the game.
Yeah.
As much as I like and play the game for the money, I love the game of golf, and I became and fell in love with the game through watching Tiger Woods make history and do amazing things, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you. I want all the players on the same tour so we can see them competing against each other, which is what I
That's
think most of
when
the fans want.
absolutely I want what the fans want, and I want really good major championships, and I want to watch the best players play in events that mean something and events that have had history, and that's where the PGA Tour lies.
Yep. Yep. All right, let's do some quick hitters, and then I'll let you go. When did you pick up your first club?
I was like a plastic club when I was started walking. So 1 years old, my dad got the club in my hand.
What about real clubs? Do you remember your first real clubs?
Probably four-ish years old. I
Yeah.
grew up on a par three course. So once I became old enough and big enough to swing a club, that's as early as I can remember falling in love with the game.
I just saw a video with Max Homa. He said he grew up on a par three as well and did kind of
Yeah,
the same thing.
yeah, I've seen that. That's cool.
Do you remember your first win?
Yeah, I was probably 8 years old, and I started playing competitively in like the Northbrook League when I was like 8 years old, and I think I won an event at Annetzberger Sportsman's that year. So yeah, the Illinois Junior Golf Association and the Suburban League, those were two really big, I would say, organizations for me getting started in tournament golf.
What was your favorite thing to do in Champaign when you were there? Outside of
Uh,
immersion and practice and all that
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say just really hanging with the team on campus because our golf team was like our own little frat, and when
Yeah.
we'd have fun, we'd go out with all eight or nine of us together, and we wouldn't break into low pods. Everyone be together, and it'd just be a super good time. So anytime going around campus, whether it's to go in to get a burger at Joe's or anywhere, Papa Del's, it all good. All just the camaraderie with the team.
Yeah. When was the last time you were there? When was the last time you went back?
I went to campus this summer for a couple days to work with Coach Small, and I also went back in March to just hang with the team for like 4 or 5 days. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've had some time there this year.
All right. What's in your bag? What are you swinging?
I've got mostly Titleist clubs. I've
Yep.
had Titleist clubs forever. They're the best company, hands down, top to bottom, and I've played the golf ball forever as well. So I would say, yeah, all Titleists.
I mean, do you get to test like all the new kinds of stuff too? Is that cool?
Oh yeah, like I kind of like to try to sneak my way out to the Oceanside facility in California and just test their future equipment. I just love the game and
Yeah.
love seeing what's coming. It's amazing.
What's your favorite club in your bag?
Uh, my driver and putter. I think those are the two clubs I use the most, and I actually definitely love them the most.
What's your favorite course you've ever played or best course you've ever played?
Yeah,
Ever.
Crystal Downs Country Club up in Michigan is my favorite course I've ever played. It's definitely sentimental to me. My grandpa belongs there, so and I actually do belong there now as well.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, it's a top 15 course in the country. I think it's rated by Golf Digest, and it's just amazing. It's a beautiful golf course.
I might know the answer to this one because I don't think you've played in a big tournament that might be the answer. The course you haven't played but you want to.
Definitely Augusta National. I think you
Yeah.
knew Augusta National. I would add in Cypress Point and Pine Valley as well.
I've heard good things about Pine Valley as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite pairing on the tour? Who are some guys you like to play with?
Well, I just played with Jason Day on Sunday. He's just a fantastic guy. Got to know him for the first time that day, and I mean, he was just a pleasure to play with. I would say there's a lot of veterans that are just unbelievably good guys that make it feel super welcoming for young players as well. So like Aaron Baddeley, Steve Stricker, our guy, of course,
Yeah.
Zach Johnson. So many great guys like that.
What's your dream pairing? Could be anyone. Doesn't have to be a golfer. Who do you want? Who will be
Yeah,
your foursome?
Tiger, my dad. Uh, I got to include my fiance in there. She's a golfer. She'd kill me if I didn't put her in there.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you there. I'm engaged as well. So
Yeah.
yeah. If you weren't a golfer and golfing on the PGA Tour, what would you be doing?
Good question. I think I would be somewhat of a coach. In some arena. I love competition. I love trying to um, I just love trying to be the best you can be, anybody, and I love the pursuit of that, and I think that's what drives me.
All right, that's all I got. What's next for you? What's on
I
the
will be
schedule?
playing the last event in the fall at the RSM in Sea Island, Georgia, and that will be my last event for the year. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was going to end with. What's the off season like? Because obviously, I mean, you can play golf through the season in certain places, but the PGA doesn't always have a tournament. So what's the off season like for a professional golfer?
Right, right. For me, it's going to be 6 weeks. I'll probably spend 1 week of just taking it off, no golf, and then I'll really look forward to just getting some practice in and grinding a lot on my game
Yeah,
because I played so much golf this summer. I haven't really had time to practice really that hard.
for sure, for sure. We'll keep grinding. You've been playing well. It's good to catch up with you. We'll definitely keep up with you and keep climbing those rankings. Good luck this year, Nick.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it.